What's going on, everybody, and welcome back once again to Luzak Football. And before we get into today's video, make sure to hit that like button and let's begin. So today's video, I'm going to be doing a post-week 5 USFL power rankings. So let's begin. Coming in at number 8, the Pittsburgh Maulers hold the spot again. Now, the Pittsburgh Maulers did get their first win of the season this week, and it was an awesome game-winning touchdown as time expired. A heck of a game-winning drive. But the reason I still have them last is they're 1-4, and although the Gamblers have the same record as them, and the Marlers beat them, so in a sense, maybe the Marlers should be ahead. I'm still putting the Gamblers ahead because the Gamblers just let that game slip away, and at the same time, the Gamblers have hung in there against the tough teams like the Stallions and others, while the Marlers have just kind of gotten smacked throughout most of the season. And to add to it, you have 3 1-4 teams where the Gamblers, Panthers, and Marlers, and the Gamblers beat the Panthers beat the Marlers, but the Marlers beat the Gamblers. So there isn't any real way to put it where you have a true tiebreaker. So I'm going now solely. I usually go based off of this, but now I'm solely not taking anything else into consideration. Just who do I just think is a better team, and I still think the Marlers are the worst team. Coming in at number 7, I have the Michigan Panthers. Obviously, I'm pretty sure their season's pretty much done, as they've fallen to 1-4 and they keep falling behind. The only thing going for them is that they're only actually one game back from the Stars, but they lost to them. Stars have tiebreaker, and believe it or not, we're already halfway through the season. Coming in number 6, the Gamblers, the team that leads the league in net points in the first half, but is last in the league in net points in the second half. That is the story of their season. Strong first halves, terrible second halves. The Gamblers just cannot seem to finish out games, and it showed yesterday against the Marlers. Coming in at number 5, I got the Stars, who dropped to 2-3, had a 17-7 lead against the Stallions before they wound up losing 30-17. Their defense just could not get stops, and the offense got shut down in the entire second half. Coming in at number 4, I got the Tampa Bay Bandits, who beat the Michigan Panthers. Tampa Bay Bandits have had a up and down season. They're currently at 3-2. They're in third place for that Southern Division. As of right now, believe it or not, though, they would not make the playoffs. Coming in at number 3, I got the New Orleans Breakers falling down now to number 3. The Breakers, they just lost to the Generals, and now they've lost 2 of the last 3. From a very dominant start to the season, things have kind of fell back down to earth. They're still one of the top teams in this league. Obviously, I have them at number 3. But, Kyle Sloter just does not seem the same. I mean, I understand he's fighting through injury. I mean, he's fighting through a hand injury, fighting through a groin injury, fighting through a bruised thigh. I mean, he's fighting through all sorts of stuff. So has Clayton Thorson for the Gamblers. But, that's part of the thing. You got to know you got to have a solid backup quarterback, and they clearly just don't have one. That's why they continue to put Thorson out there. But the Breakers, no doubt about it, have the best receiving core in the NFL. I mean, the USFL. Jonathan Adams and a lot of these other receivers are just extremely incredible and acrobatic. Coming in at number 2, I got the Generals, who now move up to number 2. The Generals have won now 4 in a row. They're on a 4-game winning streak ever since that opening night loss to the Stallions. The Generals, I mean, they're just clicking on all cylinders. Their offense is is very, methodical and playing well. The defense is playing well. In this past game against the Breakers, DeAndre Washington played the entire game. DeAndre Johnson. I keep mixing him up with DeAndre Washington from the NFL, the receiver. But yeah, DeAndre Johnson. I watched that entire game, and Luis Perez did not touch the field once. DeAndre Johnson just really took over the game. I mean, I think the plan coming into the game for Mike Riley was, split the reps between the two quarterbacks. But once he saw that DeAndre Johnson was just unstoppable in the running game and passing game, he just decided to leave him in there, and he got them the win. He played really well, and they beat the Breakers 27-17. I think it's safe to say that DeAndre Johnson has become the Generals' #1 quarterback over Luis Perez. Um, Coming in at #1, once again, the Stallions, the Birmingham Stallions, the only undefeated team at 5-0. They win again, from come from behind fashion. Interesting enough, as we discussed in last week's USFL Power Rankings video, that how they started Alex Magoo over Jamar Smith. And the offense just didn't seem the same. They did it again this week. They started Alex Magoo over Jamar Smith again, which I just don't understand. But they went down 17-7 after starting him, and then they put in Jamar Smith, went down 17-7, and they came back and won the game 30-17, outscoring their opponent 23-0 with Jamar Smith. Jamar Smith just gives it more of a spark and gives that dual threat ability. I think he's the clear better quarterback right now for the Stallions than Alex Magoo. The Stallions, I think, pretty much have the the playoffs guaranteed. They just need to, keep this going once they're in the playoffs. But what I find interesting about the Stallions is all their wins have been very tight games. This one, even though they wound up winning by 13, which isn't a lot, but they struggled in this game at different points. I think this team is bound for a loss very soon. But they don't play the Generals again, but they do play the Breakers. I can see the Breakers beating them. They play the Bandits. I could see the Bandits beating them. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out and if the Stallions could get to undefeated. If I had to say though right now, I don't think they do. But comment down below what you guys think about this past week of the USFL games. And yeah, so other than that, I'll see you guys next time.